going to show you guys real quick. I'm going to attempt to fix an air leak. This has been going on for a little over a month. I noticed it started getting worse and worse, and then I could hear it under here, underneath the cab, on top of the transmission somewhere, but I never could find it. And you can't even hardly reach your arm over there to see where it's at. So what I did was got a selfie stick, and I'll show you what I found. So what I did was I just pumped some air in it, and I started videoing, putting this thing under there. And what I finally came up with, it worked out really well because the phone captured, really told me where the air leak was. I would have never seen it, but this is a fitting right on top of the transmission for the high-low switch. As you can see, I put some tape on it because it was about to come apart, and it's a quick connect, but I could not pull the air line out of there, so I had to crawl under the truck. I couldn't reach it from this direction. I had to crawl on the truck, and I could barely reach it, just get my fingers over it. And I was trying to mess with it, trying to pull it out, and I realized I'm making it worse. So I took some Gorilla Tape and I just put it on there to hopefully try to keep it together until I could get to the house, and it worked. So we're going to try to change that out today. So again, I was trying to figure out, how am I going to get to this thing? When I laid down underneath it, I could lay on my side and reach an arm all the way over from one direction and just barely get my fingers over it. And so I was laying in my bunk, stressing about it, and I looked down and I saw the little boot on my gear shifter. So now I'm going to go in there, take that off, and see if maybe, hopefully, I can reach it with that. Get a wrench down there to take that out. I got lucky. My last drop Friday, it was at a Lone Star Truck Group. It had a parts department, and they had the part for $2. So hopefully, we'll see if it works. So hopefully, got my fingers crossed, I can take this off and at least get one hand down in there with a wrench to remove that fitting. So let's go. That's the fitting right there. It already comes with some kind of sealant, maybe some kind of Loctite. I can't really see, but it's a quick disconnect, or quick connect, which connects easy, doesn't disconnect easy apparently. So the old Harbor Freight drill here, see if we can take this thing off. Well, that's usually the way it goes. There's one that's stripped out. Two that's stripped out, three that's stripped out. So let's see, might be able to get a bigger Phillips and take it out of there. All right, nothing's ever easy, right? So these final two, there are a few things you can do to get stripped bolts out. These are Phillips heads. The first and easiest thing to do is just try to grab it with a pair of vice grips. But these, as you can see, are rounded, so you can't get a grip on them. Next thing you can do, they make a little kit where you take a small drill bit. Where's mine at? Drill into that hole, And then you have an extractor bit, which I don't have in here. That didn't work either. Mine was a little bit too big and wouldn't work for that size bolt. So next thing is just drill it out. First I took a small bit, drilled a hole down in it. Then I took this big bit, drilled it, and the top popped right off of it. And now I can just, when I take this off, I can just take these vice grips and take those screws out. These are easy to find anywhere. So, all right, now we take a look and see what we got. All right, so when I pulled the top shroud off, got this insert down in there. So we'll pull that off and see what all right, we got that removed, and still remains to be seen whether I can get my arm in there and get a wrench down there to that thing, because this truck is not your Volvo Freightliner newer trucks. This is the T660, and there's about a foot of room between these seats, so there's no place for a big guy in here. So we'll see. Probably won't be able to record this, but a lot of cussing gonna go on here, folks. This is where you start cussing and discussing. There is almost no way for me to get to this without removing my seat, but being the hard-headed guy I am, I'm gonna do it anyway. First I have to cut the line, and then hopefully I can get it out with my wrench here. Oh man, I just think I'm gonna need to take these old screws out first. All right, so to save myself a little heartache, I went and took the bolts that I drilled out. I went and took the little shaft of them out so I wouldn't be laying on them somehow. But now it's time to figure out how to get over in here. Oh gosh. Okay, so I got my arm in there at least, but I can't see anything. So hopefully when I cut this, I'll only be cutting this single airline. I'm trying to feel around, make sure I'm not cutting anything else, but it's cut. Okay. I left a little more length on that than I wanted to. I wanted to leave the airline as long as possible in case I ever have to do this again. Oh, shoot. I got the wrench on it, but I don't have enough room to get any leverage. Shoot. Nope. So what I'm looking at is, when I'm reaching in there, the end of the wrench is way off in this direction when I put it on the fitting, and I could barely reach my fingers over here, so I can't get any pressure, good pressure on it. So let's see if I can turn it around like this, maybe. But the only problem is the end of the fitting is sticking out in this direction, so I'll trim some more of that line off of there. Let's see what I've got. Trying to get the wrench back on it. Shoot. All right, so the problem I have, my solution and my problem are the same thing. So when I turn the wrench around, my gear shift is in the way. I can't turn it. Oh, I think I got it. I think I got it. There are little moments when you're doing your own work where you might start to panic when a screw or a bolt doesn't want to come out, and you realize, if I can't get this out, I'm gonna have to hire somebody to come out here. Oh, whew. Now I'm in trouble, because this isn't the same as the part they sold me. They told me that was the right part, but I may have a solution for that too. All right, so let me show you real quick. Man, that light is hot. So this is the part that was underneath. It's on top of the transmission, underneath the cab. So it's a quick connect airline, and what that means is you don't have to do any crimping of the airlines. This is the airline, and that just slides in there, and when you slide it in all the way, and when you pull back on it, teeth grab it so it won't come out of there. And the way you're supposed to get that out is supposed to be an easy disconnect also. So normally you would push on this. You can see here, hopefully you can, there's a little ferrule right here, and normally you would push on that, and what that does was disengage those teeth inside, and you could pull that out. Well, the problem is when you're laying under your truck on the side of the road, all I could do was get my fingers to about right there, as far as I could reach. And you're trying to use your thumb and your middle finger to pull that little ferrule out, and then use your pinky finger to pull the airline out. Well, what I did was, when I did that, the hole was right there. And when I did that, I immediately knew that I made it worse, because I pulled that out, and then I couldn't get that airline out of there. It was just stuck. So now that I've gotten it out, I can push that, compress that, and then boom, the airline comes right out. So I don't know if you can see in here, it's got several moving parts in here, but the airline goes over, you see in the middle right there, goes on top of that, and then you push it in as far as it goes, and those teeth will catch it. So I can reuse this. I got to clean this old sealant out of here and put some new sealant on it, but thank God I can reuse that, because the new connector I bought, she sold me the wrong one.